You're watching Daybreak on Trust Television. Now, elder statesman and former military administrator of Old Kano State, Colonel Sani Bello, retired, said the way out of the current poverty crisis in Nigeria is for the government to increase investment in human capital development. He was speaking in an interview with Trust Television.
The good leadership, first and foremost, there must be integrity. The leadership must show example so that everybody will follow. But if the leadership are all for themselves, then they leave everybody to themselves and to God only. And this is the problem. So I hope the leadership, the next incoming leadership, there will be self-discipline. You cannot discipline some people if you are not self-discipline yourself. So failure of leadership is failure of the state. If the state fails, it's not actually the state that fails, it's the leadership that fails. So really, I plead with the incoming leadership of the government to go back to the drawing board. Why did we go wrong? Why did we go astray? If you look at it, Nigeria for independence, we have not been climbing up, we have been descending. The quality of leadership is getting worse and worse and worse. And the Nigerian, for me, I was talking to some of my boys recently. I said, about 30, 40 years ago, when I was an officer, 45 years ago, or 50, I was driving from Kwantagora to Lagos. With some of the roads were not tarred in about 6.5 hours in a small car. Today, I cannot drive from Kwantagora to Ilorin in 6 hours. Why? What's wrong? Are we progressing or are we not? In the past, you could decide to leave Kano or Sokoto or Maiduguri by 6 p.m. Either way. I used to leave Lagos sometime in the past by 4 p.m. to Kwantagora. Sometimes I used to Kwantagora around 3 a.m. I don't want to bother about security. But now, by 5 p.m., no, not even 5 p.m., Abuja to Kaduna, you start thinking. So to me, I hope the next government, the first major thing they should do is improve on security. Substantial improvement on security. Because security is the number one issue. Our farmers could not go to the farm in some states. And this year, or next year, my fear is Nigeria could face starvation. My fear is next year Nigeria could face starvation because areas that they could farm, bandits stopped them from farming. While they farmed, especially lowland areas like Jigawa, like Kogi, like Niger, like a few others, they got flooded. And they lost most of the crops. And probably, I don't know about the kitty of government, whether they'll be able to import foreign food from the kitty. But next year it could be difficult. It could be a difficult year. Honestly, I believe we should develop human capital. It's only about yesterday or 2 days ago I was being told that 22 million Nigerians of school age are not going to school today. Of those 22 million, 20 million of them are from northern Nigeria. And we are not making any efforts to collectively put our hands together, to provide education, or to provide something. These young people, these 20 people, these actions we see on the street, who are begging you today to give them 10 kobo, 10 naira, 1 naira, 10 naira. In the next 10 years or 20 years, they will not beg you. They will make life hell for you. They will force you to give. No, put your mind back. 10 years ago, there were these actions on the streets. Most of their ages were between 6 and 10, begging you for pittance. Today, those actions are not, you don't see them on the street. Where are they? They are the ones that form the backbone of the kind of Boko Haram or bandits or whatever you call them. They will melt. The man must work. That's too like whatever. Man must work. They must need to eat. So unless we cut off the oxygen of supplying bandits and insurgents, their manpower, Nigeria will not see peace. And the oxygen is making sure we provide good, decent education. Whether religious education. Some of these people, some of these bandits we have found out, they call themselves Muslims, but they cannot even recite one chapter of the Quran. Because they're not educated. And in Islam, at least, I don't know much about Christianity, you don't inherit a religion in Islam. You have to learn it. You don't have to say, because, oh no, my father was a Muslim, and therefore I'm not a Muslim. No. So really, we are contributing to education, either scholarship or manpower development, or in various forms, not only the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, but also giving them a future, giving young people a future in our foundation, to train them to skill acquisition, so to speak, so they can at least look after themselves. Some of these young people of 10, 12 today, if you don't give them hope, a future, how do you think they will survive? How do you think, what do you expect them to do when they grow up? They need to live like you. They need to wear good clothes. They need to wear good shoes. They need to own cars and telephone. Talking about telephones. Because of these actions, many people now cannot hold telephones in some of the cities and walk and talk. The action lucky they don't kill you, they hurt you. Or see the phone. So many things. We need all of us, really, we need to put our hands together to salvage this nation. And the foundation of salvaging this nation, to me, is we're providing education, educating some of these are less privileged people. These actions on the street, they are a future danger if we don't look after them today. By stealing. And stealing is not only stealing when you go at the dead of night to start collecting things which will loot you. Some people steal not by using arms. They steal in the office. The ones who steal with their pens are even more dangerous than the ones who steal on the road. But unfortunately, whenever we talk about thieves, we only talk about those who waylaid us on the roads. But there are bigger thieves in the office who will steal, who sign and use our names, use our power, the power we gave them, and they steal. And they stole us dry. You can't believe it. The amount of stealing by pen is worse than stealing by gun, by weapons. So I hope the younger generation will forget this get-rich-quick mentality and work hard and be patient. We're impatient. But I think it's probably the economy is not doing very well, and that's the reason why everybody wants to grab and get what he can get as quickly as possible. But I think all things being equal, the younger generations, there's so much in Nigeria to do. We're not poorest. We're not the poorest nation on earth. Probably again we lack discipline. Is it discipline from our homes, or discipline from our schools, or discipline or enforcement of discipline by the society? We lack it. We don't obey traffic. We don't obey any rules at all. I'm in the power sector. People don't feel bad to steal meters or to change meters or circuit meters or to steal the wires or transformers. In some countries, in Africa, nearer to us, the easiest way of going to prison is tamper with electrical appliances, whether you tamper with meter or with the wire or with the transformer or anything. You go to prison without much ado. But in Nigeria, government has been spending so much money on power, subsidizing us. But we don't understand. Our cost of power is higher than the cost of power in Niger. And they have 99% collection. What do we have? Less than 40% collection. I will complain. Because we have a government that is already always willing to subsidize our own existence. Is it power? Subsidy. Petrol? Subsidy. We can't live on a world of subsidy. The world has moved on. And the world does not owe Nigeria a living. If we don't get our acts together, the world will do without us. They will forget us. Look at where we have almost become a private nation around the world now. Almost every country in the world now. As a Nigerian with your passport, you must get a visa. It wasn't like this before, when I was growing up. Then why did we go wrong? I met somebody who told me almost every prison in Southeast Asia, there's a Nigerian. Every prison in Southeast Asia, including Vietnam and Singapore and everywhere. That's why they are shutting us out. Even Dubai, where we used to go, just you apply for visa, tomorrow you get it, you fly. Now you can't go. Why? What went wrong? What did we do? Why are we so much in a hurry? Why are our young people spoiling our reputation? We used to have very, very good reputation around the world before. Nigerians were very highly respected in the past, but not anymore. The very moment you go to a foreign country and you submit your a passport and the immigration desk, they look at you with a jaundiced eye. With a jaundiced eye, they say, hi, this is one of the crooks. This is one of the criminals. This is one of the Yahoo boys. This is one of the drug dealers. They look at you. Why? Why do we need to be subjected to this kind of life? It's going to be worse. Probably it's good for us. Sooner or later we'll be shut down in this country. All of us. Nobody will be able to go out. We'll probably have an iron curtain. And probably if something like this happens, we'll be able to grow internally. Because we have the means, we have the resources, the ability, the manpower, the market. We can produce anything in Nigeria and sell. What are the advantages of China and India? Manpower. We have a human population. We have it. So probably if we are shut out of the world, probably, we will improve on our technology, we'll improve on our commerce, we'll improve on our agriculture. Because then, we'll have to feed ourselves or to starve to death.
All right, that's the elder statesman and former military administrator of Old Kano State, Colonel Sani Bello, retired, talking about poverty crisis in Nigeria and the need for investment in human capital development. Of course, as Nigeria's population continue to expand and to grow, the need for us to invest more in human capital, can never be overemphasized. Especially when you look at the recent figures of 133 million Nigerians now in poverty. It's this interview couldn't have come at a better time. True. All right. So with that, we wrap up the show for today. In case you have missed, you can always catch up across all our social media platforms. We're also streaming live on YouTube 247. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get to see and watch other content there. My name is Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining us this morning. Join us same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Stella Iaji. For now, have a very pleasant day.